I think I'm going to make a few people angry with this one. Alright everybody, welcome back to my garage. Thanks for joining. I like to do videos about my Corvette and miscellaneous garage topics and tips and tricks and how-tos. And yeah, this one's going to be a little different. I was watching Formula One a little while back, and I noticed that on the back of the cars there was a light that looked kind of like that. And a lot of people call it an F1-style brake light, but turns out it's not even actually a brake light at all. On F1 cars, it's actually almost a warning light to let you know for a few things. One is that the car is actually going slowly. But here's the thing, is that I thought it looked kind of cool, and I've seen them on other cars on the street, and so I just thought I'd look into it. And sure enough, you know, you can pick up one of these things for like $5. They're super cheap. But I wanted to see how it'd look on the back of my Corvette. I was just kind of curious. And so I ordered a couple of them up, actually, thinking, okay, if one doesn't work, I can play with the other one. Turns out both of them work, but it turns out both of them are a little different depending on which one you buy. So here's the thing, is that I'm going to let you decide at the end of this video whether or not I should put this on the back of my Corvette or not. Now, before you start making judgments on it, wait till you see how it looks after I mock it up. But first, let me show you what these things are made of. So I actually bought two of these things, thinking that they might be the same. And the first one showed up pretty much how you see it in a padded envelope. The unit, some mounting hardware, and the mounting clip. Okay? And then I got another one, and it showed up like this. And let's talk about this for a minute. Type R luxury decorative lamp. You gotta love that. Oh man, imagine that, made in China. The item is a kind of all-purpose brake lamp, fitting most vehicles, increasing the warning effect at the brake lamp when you brake. Okay, cool. So, pretty simple, straightforward. I figured that they'd be the same, but I found out that they're not, and here's the differences. The one that came in the packaging is not quite as good of quality as the one that just came in the padded envelope. And again, we're talking only about a $5 item, give or take, but the difference is kind of obvious, at least in terms of the quality of the plastic and everything like that. And then note that this one here has 3 screw holes, and this one here has 6. So I'm going to crack these open, and we're going to take a look at the difference between the two. Plastic and plastic lens. Big deal. So there's the circuit board with the LEDs in it. Pretty simple, pretty basic. Alright, let's take the other one apart. So this one's different inside, and the lights are actually LED bulbs. I don't know if you can see those or not, instead of just bare LEDs. So I would think that overall, if you're going to get one, you'd look for the one that had the 6 mounting holes instead of the slightly inferior one that only has 3. Granted, again, we're talking about a $5 or $6 item, but, I mean, if you don't want to have to replace it too often, this one's probably the one way to go. Let's see how the lights light up. Okay, so I got my power supply here, and I did a little experimentation, because as you can see, there's 3 wires here, and I'm going to try to make it so you can see it here. This one has dot, 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 this one has dot, 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 and this has dash, dash, dash. What's the difference? I don't know, but it took a little bit of trial and error, and I found out that the outermost ones with the dots, I got that, is the black, or the negative, and then the inner one, the middle one, does the strobe, and then the outer one with the dashes makes it constant. And it's decently bright. It's not blinding, but the whole idea is to get the attention of somebody and say, hey, you're braking. So the question is this something that somebody should put on their car? I'm going to mock this up on the back of my Corvette, and I'm going to ask you to tell me. Okay, you thought I was kidding, but you can't tell me that that doesn't look almost factory. It fits perfectly right in between the quad pipes of the Corvette, and it just looks right. I think it'd be good if I got some tint film so I could match the taillights and the third eye brake light. And I think the concern is that those exhaust tips get pretty hot, but you know, maybe I can do some modifications to make it right. So again, the question is, should I do it? Should I install this on my car, hook it up, and make it work? I'm always worried about somebody ramming into me. That's why when I went to LED taillights, or when I tinted this, I went to LED taillights for brightness. And I do have a mod for this third eye brake light that I'll get to in another video. I just think that the world is very distracted and people are running into each other all the time. And the last thing I want is somebody to run into my Corvette. So tell me, do you think that'll work without looking too stupid? All right, so what do you think? Is it ricey or is it rockin'? Is it ricey or is it racy? Is it awesome or is it awful? I mean, you saw how it looked. It's actually kind of surprising. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to vote. I want you to say yes or no if I should actually install this and run with it on my Corvette, despite all the things that I mentioned. Now, I know that if I do that, I'm probably going to need to get some clear silicone and silicone around the edges and around the lens and really fortify this thing because, again, for $5, I don't expect it to last forever. But, heck, I may not install it at all. It's up to you. The mob rules on this one. So you know what? Give me your thoughts. Ricey or rockin' on my C6 Corvette Z06? You get to decide. Until then, make sure you subscribe to my channel to see how the results are. And I'll see you then. Yeah, turn it up a little louder, tool.